All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer, Brian the Grizzly, Brandman Brandon, and we are talking about episode 3 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. I think it was called what was it called? Convert, right? The Convert.
The
The Convert.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this picks up right where episode 2 left off. Out of the the purifying themselves in the Lake Minnetonka?
Yeah,
Or what is it?
Minnetonka. Yeah.
But Mando version of it. Yeah, man. So right off the bat, what do you guys think about this episode? This is a long one. It was almost an hour long.
Yeah. So I like the narrative structure this time, and I like that like the main plot that we picked up on, and the Mandalorian's mission wasn't the main focus. It was more or less the bookends of this episode. I kind of like when shows, especially shows that I really like this, kind of like take a detour, so to speak. And this was all about what's his face? Was it Dr. Pershing? Was that his name?
Yeah, the doctor.
Yeah, I like that. I like that was the main focus. It gave like a little insight more into cloning, that sort of thing. So I kind of like when they go into backstory like that, and like I said, the whole word that kept popping up in my mind this entire episode is it was essentially a detour. So I thought that was pretty cool. I liked the character of Pershing.
Yeah.
I liked that. Kane was a big part, and didn't kind of see that coming at the end. With like the setup happening. So it kind of it definitely left me with some questions, which I kind of like when it comes to series, rather than just kind of answering everything or just kind of leaving things a one-off in that regard. So it was something that I was pretty happy with, and kept me just as engaged as every episode does.
All right.
Yeah.
Kane was a bitch. Yeah. Deceitful bitch.
I just gotta say this. So watching this, it was like 2 episodes, 2 different shows. All right. So you get the first part with Bo-Katan and Mando and Grogu, whatever, and then you have the show in the middle, and then you have the stuff in the end. I know you guys probably are not going to agree with me. The stuff in the middle, I didn't like.
Really?
I didn't care about the story in the middle, and I thought it's getting too far away from what makes Mandalorian good. And
I get that.
It literally reminded me of
a lot of people are saying that.
Andor. It reminded me a lot of Andor. I was watching it, I was like, what the fuck? Like, come on, this is not what makes Mandalorian great. And you take the focus off the main characters, and because the Mandalorian was very much like a Western, and he's walking off into the sunset, doing this stuff, and that whole middle part was nothing like it. It was like they're trying to fit Andor into what was good, and they're trying to get us to enjoy what Andor is by throwing it in the Mandalorian, and that kind of turned me off. And if they didn't stop that story and give us something at that back end, I probably would have been like, I hate this episode. But I love the bookends. I really did, because I said Bo-Katan, they're going to accept her, and she's not a convert, but she kind of is. And I said it. I was like, she kind of will be. They're going to make her, because now if she is, she'll have someone that follows her. So she's going to feel a part of something. She's been alone so long. They torched her castle, and now she's going to feel a part of something. And next thing you know, we might have a lot of Mandalorians following her. And she's the one person that knows, Mandalorians and Jedi. She's dealt with the Jedi before. She's the one that can bring a lot of that stuff together. This is going to be very interesting, and see where it goes. And those bookends were my favorite part of this entire season 3. That middle was my least favorite part of all of Mandalorian.
I did like how it basically like resolved. Oh, I'm sorry, Tank. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I like how it really did get out of the way, the Mando's mission. So we're not. It's nice
Yeah.
to know that that's not going to be like the main ultimate goal of the rest of the season, presumably. So I do like that they got that out of the way 3 episodes in. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate what they were trying to do with the main narrative of this episode. But I was prepared for conflicting views on it. I was definitely ready for that. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
sorry.
A lot of people. That's all good. A lot of people have the same view. Like that middle section, the doctor section, was like way too long. I personally, I liked it because I think I know where they're going with it.
I know it's setting up something in the future. Really,
it's setting up where Andor is like Andor is how it's gonna be 20 episodes altogether, I think, or something like that. 10 and 10, something along that line. It's 19 episodes setting up the last episode. That's what Andor is. This is like, oh no, they're setting it up, and then if you didn't like at the end when spoilers, when the doctor gets caught and then his the chick, I forgot her name, kind of just like grabbed the case and walked away. I was like, what the fuck, because I knew she was working for somebody. I didn't know who. The whole time I'm like, I don't trust her. And then you get justified like not trusting her. But now the whole question is like, who is she and why is she there and what's going on? And I think Mando has his story going on with everything going on with him, obviously. And we kind of forgot Grogu's here. And we forgot Grogu, was being hunted for whatever reason by the clone doctor, and we got all these clones. I think this is going to be the start of finding out Grogu's story. That's why I think this is important, because it's not directly connected to them yet, but I think it's the beginning of setting up something very, very big, very, very important for Grogu. Not for Din and Mandos, but for Grogu. And I think it's going to be another like Luke Skywalker big thing by the end of season 4.
I think it's going to be an Ahsoka time. It's an Ahsoka thing. But when you take that much time in the middle of an episode, I mean, it was too much for nothing to really happen. And we get the gist of it within 15 minutes. Why the hell do I have 35 minutes of it and still going on? We understand what's happening.
I don't think so. You gotta set it up. You gotta set up like, oh, this guy is naive, and you gotta set up like he the whole trusting is, like he didn't trust her. Then she gave him cookies and literally cookies and a bunch of other stuff and told him the things he wanted to hear, and him being a good, like legit good person and wanting to help people. And it doesn't matter who's in charge. He just wanted to help people. That he got caught up in the mix of who's good and who's bad and agendas. You know what I mean? Because he's so naive.
He's just the guy who makes the atom bomb, just like the one who makes
kind of
not realizing that it's going to be used for evil. But
for very bad stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't think I needed that much. I didn't need that much because once again, I feel like Mandalorian has lost a lot of its viewers. This is the wrong time. It has lost a lot of viewers.
Is it? I didn't.
Yeah, and I think that this is part of the reasons.
I mean, I'd rather get 35 minutes of it now than 10 minutes. If we can get it all out of the way now, and then sprinkle in the rest of it later, rather than dealing with like too much. Like, because I think like we got a chunk of it now, and then I think that's it. We're not gonna get a big chunk again. And if we, I don't know if we do, but that's what I think.
I think if it could have been done in 15 to 18 minutes, and still giving us a pretty good full episode, because this is one of the longest episodes of The Mandalorian that we've ever had. And I think if it was equal to like if it was all third. And we still had pretty much a full episode of Mandalorian, I would have been okay with it. I feel like it took away from the story that we were already in the middle of, that we've taken 3 episodes to get to. And we've been waiting for Bo-Katan for all this time. And then, so we're in the middle of waiting for this, and then they cut away for 35 minutes. And I was like, what the hell? We've been waiting. You've been building up to this point. Don't put this big thing in the middle of it. And I felt like that was the mistake.
I don't think so, because they already built up to that point. and now they just have to put the cherry on top of it. So why not before because I think they knew a lot of this was going to put off a lot of people, but in order to tell a story later on, you have to do this now. And if you don't do this now,
minutes of it, because there's 10 minutes of it that could have been just thrown to the side.
I don't think so.
A train, and then another train, and then another train, and they're like, wait a minute, and then another car, and then another car, and it was like, all right, I got the point, and then jumping off, and like I understood what was going on, and understood with the cookies, and I understood I didn't need all the same stuff over and over, the monotony of the episode, because I already understood what was going on. And when you're doing that in the middle of something that was happening that you've been waiting for a long time, I feel like it turned me off. So I feel like
even the train was a metaphor for first he was like all scared. Then the second train they went into, he tried being like her, and then by the time he went to the third train, he was just going in head first. Where when they opened up the last door, he just walked out. He's like, wait a minute. It's like, which was a metaphor. He's like, oh, she's leading you up this confidence. And then you're going to like, literally, that's it. You're done, like, so I don't know. I mean, I've
been waiting for Bo-Katan all this time. We finally were getting to that reveal. And then you had to wait 35 more minutes. It's like, that's just, no one cares about the character that much. So like either start.
I agree with that.
See, no one cares.
I agree with that.
These are people that I don't care about right now. So I've been waiting 2 seasons for this, and you're gonna wait 35 minutes inside the episode. I was like, what the hell, dude? Come on.
Yeah.
Of course, I watched it because I'm okay. I understand the process of making stuff, but I know people are going to be pissed off. Watching like, oh, this is not going to work out.
Yeah, I kind of knew people were going to get pissed because they were like, where's the shiny sticks? Like where's people? All the force and stuff. But I don't know. I thought it was good. I think it's gonna be super important. I think it's gonna be super important because we got the cloning thing, and then once he started talking on splicing and adding shit, I was like, this is how Snoke was made. And I think Grogu's gonna be a big part of that. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow slip in Luke's hand, into one of these shows.
Mm-hmm. No, honestly, I believe that they're trying to fix too much with the best thing they have in Star Wars. They're trying to fix all the other crap that they messed up with in the middle of this. And I think that's a mistake because you don't want people to not like this. You're going to lose your audience like they already are. Like the numbers are going down for Mandalorian. And that's what I'm saying. Like you can't use your best thing to always sit up and try to fix all the crap you fucked up already. Yeah. I don't think that's a good idea. I think what you need to do is add to it, and then once you've kind of gotten, I think Ahsoka's gonna be off the chain.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, me too. But also, I'm looking at this article. I think Mandalorian got a big drop off because it was followed by Book of Boba Fett, which sucked, pissed a lot of people off, and then Kenobi, which pissed off even more people. So and everyone that was happy.
Andor.
And then Andor came out and then pissed off even more people. So why would you lost faith?
But then why would you do an episode like Andor in the middle of Mandalorian when you're trying to build back up?
I don't think it's Andor. I see a few other people like Xavier saying it's Andor. I don't think it's Andor because you see the payoff coming out. Andor was like payoff, like it never showed.
Andor was consistently frustrating. Andor just. But at least with Mandalorian, for the most part, it pushes forward narrative wise, and it's been enough to keep me engaged. I can't. Obviously I can't speak for everyone, but like I had said when we were, and I was like, and I say this as a former defender of like at least the earlier episodes of Andor, with it being like a slow burn buildup, but for every time it did that, it would take several steps backwards. Or more than that, it would take 10 steps backwards.
Both of you thought the same thing with Andor for a long time, and I told you,
I did too.
For a long time, you both said the same thing. And my point is that you lose people before you get there, and this is your opportunity to gain back, especially for Ahsoka. You need to gain all the people go one way, and got to do that now, and you don't want to lose people off before you give them the greatness that Ahsoka is probably going to give you. And that's my worry, that they continue to do that. They're trying to use what's popular to fix the stuff that they already messed up. But the problem is you messed up because you're trying to do that. You keep on trying to fix yourself instead of just give the people what it's supposed to be. Give the show what's supposed to be.
But that's what Filoni's good at, man. Like he made the prequels a little bit more bearable because he made a great companion show to go with it. You know, the Clone War animated show made
the first season. People hate it. Like,
they hated the first 2 seasons. By the end of season 3. Yeah. Well, even Ahsoka, look at like everyone's like,
oh yeah, she was the most annoying thing in the world. Do you have enough time? You sure?
She was super annoying.
Yeah, she was. But
she started at a pain.
Time right now with these amount of episodes you have to do that right now. I don't know. I don't think it's the best idea. But obviously,
I mean, you can't just keep saying like, because that was the issue they had the last 2 seasons was just like mission of the week, like a better story. Sorry if I'm getting a little glitchy. My internet's like, I got a lot of shit to go some shit out.
Because you have 35 windows up. I literally see 35 windows.
I do. Because my eldest. I think it's gonna be all right because also he already wrote season 4, and season 4 is they're gonna start filming that soon. So between like he has a plan, which is like I said, always a good thing. So like we know where things are going, and at least he knows where things are going, and I think he's gonna tell a good story. And it's also Filoni and Favreau, mostly Favreau. So yeah, I think I don't mind it because do a big chunk now while it's still early in the season, and then you still there's still what 7 more episodes. I think where you can just sprinkle that little side story in until season 4.
Give an inch, they take a mile. Just warning. I'm warning. I'm just saying. Give an inch, take a mile, and the next thing you know, you're gonna be episode 6. Like, man, I can't believe they did it again. I was like, I told you. And then
this time you're dealing, you're dealing with people who actually like Star Wars. The guys who did Andor are not Star Wars fans. You know what I mean? So it's like, so that's always an issue, So the same thing when like MCU is like, well, we don't want to get writers and directors who don't know the story. It was like, why not? That's stupid. Filoni and Favreau been around Star Wars when Lucas still owned it. So they're fans and they respect it, I think, enough.
I think they're trying to save something that they should just cut bait with. They're trying to save something that they didn't even do. They're trying to fix someone else's mistake, and that might be a bad thing for Star Wars as a whole. Instead of just letting it go and do what they do, because they know where they're going. They know where they're going. But by trying to fix everything, you turn off more people.
Not necessarily. I mean,
I'm saying what they're doing.
Clone Wars was good, and Clone Wars fixed enough where Revenge of the Sith was a decent enough movie. You know what I mean? But my thing is like, what if they're looking so far down the path? They're like, you know what? KK's gone in a couple months after Indiana Jones comes out. She's got 2 months max and she's gone. They're going to be in charge. They're like, you know what? We need to un-F the stuff they did. So we need to explain things a little bit more. So when we take charge, we can continue the story in a better way. You know what I mean? So,
I don't think you should do it with Mandalorian.
What else are you going to do it with? Ahsoka? You can't do it with Ahsoka.
But you can't do it. Your most popular show, you don't want to make it less popular. No, but I
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
It's just
but what if they're making?
I worry about it. It's just I know they're not going to lose me. They didn't lose me. I made it all the way through Andor. They're not losing me. I want to watch it anyway. But the common fan, that's a big risk.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of curious where Derpy said he actually has some positive things about this one, because
that's why I really
he said like how Disney-fied he said the other episodes were, and I didn't think so. Where this one literally had a 35-minute monologue, with a crazy end and setup to something else. But yeah, I was kind of curious to see what he said about that. But I can see them setting up Grogu to be the future of Star Wars once they become in charge. Like, hey, episode 10, 11, 12, Grogu Skywalker. I don't know, something stupid.
I think it's gonna be.
I'll
follow Ahsoka still, and
no, because you have to explain why she isn't in the sequels.
Doesn't matter. They just not talk about it again.
Her voice was in Revenge, the last episode when Rey heard all the voices. One of the voices she heard was Ahsoka, so you assume she's dead.
Talk about it and just say, okay, well, let's not talk about it. I'm not saying it's a follower, but I follow her into the dark zone. Like they can explain that, and that's gonna be the future of Star Wars because you can use that to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm saying because. Yeah. Everything that we're watching in Mandalorian, a lot of this stuff has already happened. This happened. This is 40 years in the past. So like when talking about future, like I'm thinking more like it's going to be something totally different. So why try to fix something that's already on the other end? So I don't know. I'm
sorry. Who's the only character in Star Wars right now that can live another 900 years?
Unless you could go into the future. And you can go through all time and jump into all type of.
He said it's not time travel, though. He said it's not time travel.
It's a gateway.
But it's not time travel. That's what he said.
How about
makes no sense.
You could go to a gateway and get through each gateway. Like it, I'm just saying that can take you into any number of futures. It's not the time machine, but it can take you to wherever you needed to do, and you have that being built up. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see some of these comments.
Some of these comments.
Let's see. The B1 battle droids are my favorite Star Wars characters, and I feel bad for all the torture they have to go through. I love to see a movie where the B1 becomes a hero. I wrote a screenplay. Hey.
Oh, really?
I see you.
Nice. Right. Very nice.
I like
Very
that.
Nice.
And then Xavier. The first part was Mandalorian. The second part was Andor. I feel like the middle. I think Andor was the cream filling.
The middle.
It was that Oreo that with the secret, like the question mark, like I don't know what flavor it is, but that was a terrible decision. I feel like that's what we got. We got the terrible decision middle. Xavier said, I agree with Brian with the Andor comparison. They tried to backdoor the concept of Andor and prep the audience, Star Wars audience for Andor season 2.
That's
they
funny.
said, Brian just expressed my greatest fear. That's my biggest fear. I just feel like that, it is what it is. I just don't want to lose the feel of Mandalorian. World building through awesome characters, not boring exposition and predictable story beats.
Yeah, it was predictable. I knew she was bad, but my question is like,
she had that vibe. Yeah.
Like, too nice. It
was too much. Kid, guy with a van say, "Hey, kid, you want candy?" There was too much of that the entire thing. That's all I saw.
That's exactly what it was.
And she was saying like, "Candy," like it's just the whole time. Biscuits. Like, really? Is this what we watching, guys?
But I just wonder, like, because like she deals with clones, so I was like, is she a clone? Who is she a clone of? Is she working with Moff Gideon? Is she working with because like I thought it was really interesting too, because remember that might be the last time this might be the last time we see Coruscant, because in episode 7 Kylo Ren decides he wants to be Vader Jr. and fucking blows up everything, and one of the plans is Coruscant. So this might be the last little bit of Coruscant we get to see before it goes bye-bye. So I'm just saying.
Here's my worry.
So interesting though.
As I said, the first 12 minutes and the last 12 minutes are best part of my I've enjoyed of Mandalorian this entire season. We've not talked about it at all. That's my point.
But what happened? I mean, nothing happened though. That's my thing.
Bo-Katan did not take off her helmet ever since she left the planet. She's been accepted by other Mandalorians. The Mandalorians are starting to come together. She already knows that their thing is underneath in the waters of Andor.
That was my biggest thing.
She lost her castle, so she no longer is going to go back to her little castle and pout. She has to do something else. This is the beginning of a Mandalorian war. And we haven't even discussed it. We were talking about this for 30 minutes and not even discussed it. And that's my worry. That's the point. That's where I'm going to, and I'm worried that we're gonna lose that and lose how good of an episode it really was.
I don't know. I mean, because like my biggest question was like, is she gonna tell Din, which she didn't, and then is she gonna be accepted into the Watch or whatever they're calling themselves? You know, that was my biggest two things. You know, and then it had the cool fight scene in it, which was pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, besides that, I was like, you know, like her not taking the helmet off, I was like, huh, interesting. But I was like, when would she have? I guess I don't know.
Every time she came back into the ship, she took off her helmet. And I found it really interesting that when she came back into the ship, she did not take off her helmet. She kept it on that time.
She kept it on.
That's what I was thinking the whole time, that she's starting to believe in some of the stories. Not that she's openly accepted it into her heart, but that she's starting to believe enough that she didn't want to give up.
I don't know. I think that's going to be a big fight because you have an actual Mandalorian with Mandalorian wannabes telling the actual Mandalorian how to be a Mandalorian. Can you imagine, like, if me telling, like, you guys, like, hey, you know, listen, this is how you actually be a black guy. You know, it's like, no, that's not, you know, that's not going to go right. You know, I mean, she's going to get pissed off, you know, and I think other actual Mandalorians might get pissed off, but she could be the connector of the two. Say, like, hey, maybe they're not all that bad. And maybe they're not all bad, but she needs to find that out.
And she's believing that. She's starting to realize that. And now she also knows that that beast is down there. If anything happens, the mythosaur, if anything happens, she knows she could go get that. Yeah. And they have to accept her because you know where it is.
Yeah. I think that's what it's going to lead into is, what's up, Zach? You know,
what's going on, Zach?
She's gonna become the true ruler. She goes, yeah, he got the Darksaber, but I got a mythosaur. Yeah. So it's like, what you gonna do about it?
But then together, you know, he's like the general that everyone follows, and she's the leader that everyone's going to like believe that deserves it. And that's why I always thought we were going from even last week. I was like, this is where it's going to go. Yeah. And I'm excited that they're exploring it. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but they're at least exploring it. Yeah. Because the real one is going to be able to bring it together. It's going to be Grogu. It's still going to have to be Grogu somehow.
That's probably the best part of the episode was when she says this is the way, Din says this is the way. Yeah. Little Grogu kind of tries to say it. They look back around and they're like, what? You know, he's going to be a Jedi Mando again.
That's what it is.
I'm super excited about that. He's been wearing the chainmail the entire time.
He's still
Yeah.
Zach said the episode was good for 30 minutes. Which 30 minutes are you talking about, Zach? I wonder which 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We just spent 30 minutes talking about that.
Talking about it. Yeah, seriously, we did. Oh man.
It's Oreo with the cream filling being not as good, and they like the cream filling.
Mystery flavor.
Mystery flavor.
Yeah. So here I got one question. I don't know if you want to do more than that. Does Bo-Katan stay with the Watch
for a while? Yes.
What do you guys think? For a while.
Hold on.
What about you?
If she does, I don't think. I don't think it'll be permanent. If she does,
Zach, I'm the only one on this show that agrees with you.
I mean, those were definitely the better parts. Don't get me wrong, but I did enjoy the middle because I hope what they're setting up is what I think they're setting up.
I think there will be a little more payoff than it led on. That's why I was. That's why at least
payoff. A lot more payoff than Andor.
Hey, I was the only one on that limb for like 10 weeks.
You were. I was trying.
Yeah,
I was trying.
Right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Like I said, that's the popular opinion, though. Is everyone? A lot of people are saying that middle section was just not good. Was just not good. So,
and I totally understand that it's setting up something, but they should have did it in 15 minutes. That's what I'm saying. Because as I said, once again, when you've been waiting for something for so long, waiting for this whole Bo-Katan and Mandalorian, and Din to really be accepted by them, you don't want to wait for 30 minutes in the middle of an episode.
Mm-hmm.
That would just piss people off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Now we're off.
If by better written, yeah, by better written, you mean at the end of every episode to be continued. It was like nothing.
No end in sight.
Yeah. Or it ends with like, and then ... like, then the next episode, nothing happens.
I don't know if you ever been with a kid who tries to tell you a story and they realize the story is over, but they don't want to give it up. So they keep on talking and they say, and they go look up and they try to figure out the next thing they're going to say. And then a purple dinosaur came out and then, and that's Andor.
Yeah. The Star Wars fans are the Billy Madison, like, shut up already.
Exactly. And me, I am the judge. Say, no. At no point in time during that complete rambling was it even a coherent thought. You're awarded no points, and may God have mercy.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
I think Bo might be fronting. After her clan ditched her, she needs help from Din's clan. She wants to tame the mythosaur. That's exactly what she wants to do. And once she has that, she could take off her helmet and do whatever. She could dance around now.
Yeah.
She put it down like a sombrero and dance around it. Like Larry, it won't matter because she tamed the mythosaur.
Yeah. I mean, I'm staying true to my thought where the Watch are not good guys. Remember, the armorer's got the spike on her head. Spike on your helmet means you followed Darth Maul when he was in charge. Because you believed in all the stupid, warrior stuff, no matter what, even though a literal Sith Lord was in charge of Mandalore. So she's not a good person. She's not a good guy, I don't think. And then now we know the big dude, I believe he was part of the Vizsla clan who fought Din in the last season. Yep. He don't trust her. And I don't trust the Vizsla clan. I really don't trust them. So there's gonna be some beef cooking up pretty soon, I think. That's gonna be good.
As long as they follow the Mandalorian law, then they're at the end, she's gonna be like, no, you're going to follow her. That's what
Yeah.
As long as it's following Mandalorian law. And that means if the mythosaur is being written, then Bo-Katan is the leader. And that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Xavier says Bo definitely has a game plan and I'm here for it.
Yeah. She's not stupid. She's definitely very, very smart.
Yeah. Let's see. The correspondent section felt like something out of Andor.
Oh man.
It's not just me, guys. It's not just me.
Yeah. Paz Vizsla, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I feel like she has that. This is the best part of the episode, and we don't even get to talk about it because of all what they did. They made us wait for 30 minutes in between. We saw it coming. I was like, it's like watching The Lion King and seeing Rafiki about to lift Simba up and then pausing it and going to go talk about the hyenas for 30 minutes. But why? I've been waiting for this moment all my life, and it's like, all right, hold on. Let me tell you a story.
All right, Phil Collins.
Yeah, but I think the next episode is gonna pick up right with what's going on with Din's clan and all that stuff like that. It's gonna be really interesting. Like, I'm really, really interested to see what happens because Bo's not a follower, man. The last time she followed was the Dark Watch, and she's like, whoa, with another Vizsla. So I'm sure she knows that dude, the Paz Vizsla. I'm sure she knows him. Not just like, oh, yeah, I seen you around. Like, no, like we were buddies and fought together and shit. Because then when Tar Vizsla was in charge with the Darksaber, she followed and then she wound up taking off because he got too crazy. So, and now she's with another crazy group. So it was like, I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting, especially if if you watched Rebels, part Rebels and then Clone Wars and know the whole Bo-Katan story and stuff like that. So
no, I think exactly what these is saying right here. I don't think Bo got saved. Bo got saved. She has ulterior motives, and she realizes she needs someone. She can't do it by herself.
Yeah.
When you saw her house get torn down.
That
You
was
knew she had to do it.
That threw me off, man.
And that's why it was
like,
interesting. She never took off the helmet. And I think she's been thinking about this. I need to plan this out anyway. And she's very smart. She's a real leader, and she's going to be the leader until she dies, and then Grogu comes the leader.
Yeah. She was trained leader.
Exactly. She really is.
She's gonna be on the mythosaurus, throwing around the Darksaber.
As she said, she's been doing this stuff since she was a baby. She's trained on these things, so it's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. All right. Anything else, guys? Anything else we didn't talk about? As long as
I felt like I did a lot of talking. Sorry, Brandon.
Oh no, you're fine. I think I covered everything on my end at least.
No, I think it is always a good conversation, and hearing both sides is always really good.
It went.
Yeah, and I like it, but yeah, it is. What I still think. Got to go back to what Mandalorian is. Got to go back to that. So,
yeah, which I think they will. I think they will.
Anything else? Anything from comments in the chat? Anyone else got anything to say? Because then we could go on to the next thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, here.
I'm just. One
last
thing. There we go.
At first, I was confused why they get rid of her clan in episode 1, but now I see where they're going. Exactly. Exactly, and allowing her to become the leader, and all Mandalorians following her because she's riding the mythosaur. I want to see it.
Yeah. Is Sasha Banks supposed to be a Mandalorian season 3? Yes, I believe she is. So they're gonna bring back her group. Oh, so I don't know how true this is. It's kind of like Sasha Banks confirmed she will not return in season 3. Never mind.
Yeah, so that makes more sense. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Yeah.
Zach says, Mando, a Saturday morning cartoon, and just says, stick with that. Stick to that.
I think they already did that, didn't they? Well, with Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, and that was not good.
Yeah. That was back in the day. Yeah. I'm curious, man. I hope we see Sabine. I want to see Sabine pop up, or at least her clan Ren pop up in this show, because at least it would set up the normies who've never seen any of the cartoons for at least Sabine. You know what I mean? Like,
they have to.
There's another crazy Mandalorian in this other group of people. So.
We have 7 episodes left, and before Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's going to come out this summer. It's happening, so they have to start to give us some of these things. So I'm all for it, and I think that we're going to get that. So
I can't wait for Ahsoka.
Yeah, I wonder if they haven't announced it because it might tie in to the end of this season of Mando.
It has to.
Because right now it's just expected sometime in 2023 is still what they're saying, but they're saying like sometime August. You know, July.
I'm thinking July.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Well, so I can't wait for that though. But I wonder.
Same.
But either way, I mean, I thought this episode was good. Even the middle part, I liked it. I like the setup. Yeah.
Hey guys, Tank likes the mystery flavor. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Because I think and I hope it's going to set up more of Grogu's story, because we kind of been forgetting about that. Saved him from the purge, back then. Who did this? I'm like, and now they're back on Coruscant, where Grogu was last at when they did the purge, and now it's a different regime. There's a lot of things going on with Grogu that we just completely forgot about, that we haven't talked about since Boba Fett. So.
Mm-hmm.
I'll end it with this. This is the way.
There you go.
What's going on, Zach?
Oh, did I click that?
Yeah. He's been here for a minute. I'm like, what?
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to click that. My computer's acting funny right now. So sorry, guys.
But,
there you go.
Guys, there we go.
Well, that's Boba Fett, but
this is the way.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's talk about some other stuff.
Yeah.
And
here, Ahsoka might drop at the end of the summer. That's exactly what I think.
Yeah.
July going to August, right before school. That's when you get it.
Yeah.
This is the way.
And it makes sense. All right. Cool. Let's get out of here. Let's talk about some other stuff for the night. So if you're watching live, stick around. We're gonna talk about some other stuff. If you're watching on replay, appreciate it. Thank you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It lets YouTube know what we're doing is good, and it pushes out to more people. And hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're on our way to 1,000. So if you want to share any of our videos, please go ahead, clip it. I know clip is a new thing on YouTube, so do something like that. One of us say something stupid, so clip it. But cool. Thank you guys. Yeah. Oh yeah. At this point, be any of us doing stupid stuff. But all right, guys, appreciate it. We will see you guys next Thursday talking about the next episode of Mando. And but let's move on to some other stuff for the night.